Millions of Americans are working to file their tax returns ahead of the April 18th deadline.
Experts warn, though, as people gather up their paperwork, there are a lot of common mistakes that people seem to make. For more, let's bring in one of those tax experts to help us avoid those, Karla Dennis. She is the founder and CEO of Karla Dennis and Associates. Thanks for being here. So tell us, what are these big mistakes that Americans make over and over again when filing their taxes?
Thanks for having me. One of the biggest mistakes that Americans make are not being organized. That's one of the biggest. Getting organized will really help taxpayers from missing out on their tax deductions, prevent taxpayers from paying a larger tax bill. That's one of the biggest mistakes. And I suggest that they use my 12 by 12 system. And that's really where they take 12 days to go back through 12 months of their tax year. Take one day, go through January, look at your prior bank statements and so forth.
Interesting. So tell me how this works. So you take 12 days out of your calendar, say the next few weeks, separate 12 days, and so that you're not so overwhelmed, instead of doing, 6 months in a day, you do 12. You do every day, you do a different month. And by that, what's the benefit of that approach?
It's, number one, not being overwhelmed.
Right.
It takes 12 days, go through each month per day, and it allows you the time to look for those deductions that you are perhaps going to miss out on, going through your checking account, going through your credit card statements, and doing it with a sense of calm versus a sense of rushing and being an overwhelm.
I like your 12 by 12 for expense reports, too, considering that I've just lost my sanity over the last several weeks.
Well, but that goes to the point about how people are already so stressed. We have too much to do. You're making food for the kids and trying to work on homework. And now we're talking about trying to organize all of our taxes. I think a lot of people leave things out as a result because they're worried about audits, for example. How can people prevent that added sort of scrutiny from the IRS?
I think that what people really need to do is, number one, be calm. This is what we do every single year. But most importantly, tax laws are always changing. There's something new on the table every single year, and especially over the last 3 years. I recommend that taxpayers visit with a tax professional. We have to keep up with these laws to maintain our licenses. And quite frankly, I don't know how anybody does it unless they are really immersed in these tax law changes and keeping up with the laws.
That's why it's so
You guys love to bust our dreams every year. There's fewer things you can deduct. Karla Dennis, thank you so much. I love that piece of advice. 12 by 12.